Okay, I'm going to do a quick video on an oil change for a 2020 Discovery Sport. What you're going to need, obviously, the manual, check yours. This one says 7.4 quarts of 0W20. It's got a cartridge type element for a filter, not a spin-on. And believe it or not, I was able to find this at Walmart for $3, and it fits. In case that cap is hard to get off, you obviously don't want to use a big pet channel locks or something. You might crack it. I did order the original filter, but STP makes one. It's only good for 5,000 miles. The manual says change every 7,000, which I still think is not good. We'll do it every 5. And honestly, the OEM filter is not much more than the STP, so I'll probably stick with the OEM. There's 2 ways we can pull the oil out. You can either vacuum it out the dipstick or get underneath and remove the splash panel, which is just a bunch of 10mm bolts and some hand fasteners. I'm going to probably drain it from underneath just to make sure we get all the crud out of the pan. And the filter is right there, that black cap. And that cup wrench or socket fits right on there, no problem. It's the same fit, I think, for Lexus Toyota, which is nice. It's a 64mm by 14 flat. They do make a Toyota one, and it has some strange little cuts on the side, but this one doesn't. And you'll see it's deep enough and it fits right on there, just so we can get an extension on it and just crack it loose. All right, I'll show you what goes on underneath. Okay, as you can see, the socket is 3/4 drive. I just put an adapter on long enough with that because I think it's kind of overkill. Just want to loosen it. Okay, on there, and honestly, one hand, it loosened right up, which is nice. Don't forget, I'm going to leave it at that and then get underneath and start draining the oil before I take the cap completely off. Okay, so underneath the car, that splash pan has an interesting little cutout with these fasteners that you turn 180 degrees and it locks that panel. But problem is when you open it, well, it's not a problem, but there's the oil pan. But I know it's tough to see. Right here is the oil drain plug. All right. Problem is when you're going to loosen that, it's going to come pouring out of there, hit here, and get all in there unless you put something to kind of stop it. The other problem is this door, I'm afraid to bend it anymore because it's not really hinged, it's just cut out, and it may crack and then over time just start to get loose. This entire piece isn't that difficult to remove. Screwdriver, you pop it, and it's a body thing, and then you're going to go around. Oh, geez, terrible camera work. This, they're pretty obvious what ones you got to take off, and then just drop the whole thing. I think it would just be less mess getting oil all over everything. All right, I'll show you what it looks like with it off. Okay. These little fasteners here, there's a little trick. Obviously, normally you just loosen them with a screwdriver and they back out. But since these aren't holding material together that's very thick, your best bet is reach up in here and squeeze this while you unscrew it, and then it will back out instead of prying it out. You should be able to reach the other one down here through that opening. Okay, this was a little more involved than I thought, but it's not bad. It does, just take your time. Um, that's the main panel. This overlaps in the front. Let me flip this. So when you look underneath, this piece, the small one's going to be right here. You do have to take that completely off because hidden behind it are fasteners. Again, 13 millimeter bolts and some 10. Again, hand tight. You're going to crank them down. There's the trap door. This is looking from the inside. And you'll notice you'll have to go into the fender on the side there. Again, you can get at it from underneath the car to take out more of those plastic body clips out with the Phillips, but it's not bad. There's that trap door I was talking about. But now, at least, when you're underneath, so you can kind of see everything, which is nice. And like I said, you won't get oil all over the splash pan, and it'll stink over time. So, all right, now it's time to drain the oil. Okay, there's the filter taken out. Unscrew this slowly. Now, mind you, it's upside down, but no oil spilled out when I took it out, so it was nice. And then always remember, when you open a drain, make sure you open that and just be careful because that oil is going to come flying out. Okay, and this filter kind of clips in there. There's a kind of a thing that holds this, so if I flip this upside down, nothing's going to happen. So you just got to pop it off, pop the new one on. Don't forget there's a O-ring here. They do give you one in the kit, so always make sure you change it and put oil on it like you would a regular rubber seal if it was a spin-on, and then snug it up. Okay, new filter. Like I said, it snaps in place. New O-ring. Make sure you change that. Put a little wipe of oil on it, and then you're going to bring it over and screw it back in there. That's simple. Just a little unnerving that if anything falls in there, bye-bye motor, I guess, but hey, whatever. Okay. Okay. It's the oil drain, 13 millimeter. As you'll notice, there is a rubber gasket on it. This one's in good shape, and also, you know, you don't have to crank these down to get them to seal. I'm sure you can get that seal somewhere, or I think they sell the whole drain plug as a replacement, but I'm going to reuse this one because it looks in good shape. Okay, start the car. Check for any oil leaks. Make sure nothing's dripping there. And obviously, before you put the covers back on, do the same thing. Check. That's it. Bye-bye.